Rajdeep Sardesai joins us live. Rajdeep, two-phase election in Bihar. All political parties are saying that this is what they wanted. They do not want a prolonged election. So two-phase election, how do you look at these two phases? But interestingly, it will be happening after Diwali and also after Chhath.
Look, the first good news, in a sense, Maria, in those election schedule is that Bihar has changed. We often think कि बिहार नहीं बदला है, लेकिन इस मामले में तो कम से कम बदला है कि in the 1990s elections in Bihar would be 4, 5, 6 phases because there was the fear of political violence. It was the age of the muscle man in Bihar, the dabangai which we saw in Bihar, particularly in the late 80s and then in the early 90s. Now there seems to be a greater confidence that you can hold a two-phase election in Bihar, which is the good news that this election brings. A shortened election campaign in terms of the fact that by the time Diwali and Chhath is over, you've got just about 10 days to the first phase would suggest that whoever is to win Bihar has to build the momentum starting now. There will be very little time left post-Chhath for you to influence voters. And as we've seen over the years, there are increasingly very few floating voters. Most voters often make up their mind, especially in a state like Bihar, where politics has been so polarized for so long. So I'm not sure who gets a real advantage out of that. The NDA clearly is organizationally and resource-wise far superior to its rivals. But the RJD has shown resilience in the past. Right. They were the single largest party 5 years ago. And you would never want to write them off because they do have a core vote. Right. I heard you a short while ago talking about the Congress. I think the big problem is, does the Congress have any core vote left at all in Bihar? All the other parts, the BJP has consistently scored between 19 and 24% Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha. The Nitish Kumar has consistently scored around 15% average. RJD has been in the 20 to 24% range. Therefore, the Male has a core vote bank. The Congress becomes the Kamzor Kadi. Right. And therefore, how does the Mahagathbandhan go from 36, 37% to 40, 42% right. is the real challenge for them.
Multiple questions. Will the Congress still fight 70 seats, yes, or will the Congress settle at a seat number which is going to be about 50? Because out of 70, it only won 19. Lots of questions there. Possibly Rahul Gandhi, hoping his Vote Adhikar Yatra has been able to get some amount of traction for him as a leader and acceptability for his party, which even Amitabh Tiwari touched on, where the EBC vote is concerned, or the Dalit, or a faction of the Dalit vote is concerned. The Congress aside, Rajdeep, let me ask you a quick question where Bihar is concerned. Many consider it a swing state with its complex political shifts. History stands testimony that electoral results in Bihar have always, near always, only but surprised. It also signals a wider, broader political trend where acceptability, across India is concerned, or at least the Hindi heartland comes into question. Let me ask you, Rajdeep, on the X factors. While there are multiple X factors, like Mahila, like Prashant Kishore, if you want to make it personality driven, if there are 5 people who are testing themselves in this battleground, the X factors in terms of personality, Rajdeep, and you have to put your word in on them. From Prashant Kishore to Tejaswi, you have Rahul Gandhi, you have Nitish Kumar, and you have Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of the country. How would you rate right now how they are being perceived in Bihar, or what are they looking at?
I think there are two personalities who are really key to an election in Bihar. One is Nitish Kumar. I mean, it's quite remarkable that someone has ruled a North Indian state or has been Chief Minister of a North Indian state for almost 2 decades and switched sides so often. It almost suggests that for any government to be formed in Bihar, Nitish is indispensable. I mean, that's quite a phenomenon. You're not the number 1 party. You're not even number 2. You're number 3 party, but no one can form a government without you. Now, the question is, therefore, how much of an asset does Nitish Kumar remain, or how much of a liability? Does 20 years of anti-incumbency hurt him, or the connect that he has built, especially with women voters, benefit whichever alliance he goes with, and the EBC vote that comes along with? So, Nitish Kumar is one key X factor. The other X factor is, to some extent, Rahul Gandhi, because, look, Rahul Gandhi could claim that in Uttar Pradesh, in the Lok Sabha elections, he seemed to upset all calculations. But Bihar is very different. If you look at the Congress's performance, they've never got more than even 20% of the seats that they've contested. Last time they contested 70, they won 19. Had they won even 30 seats, less than half of what they contested, the Mahagathbandhan would have been in power. So the Congress has shown no signs over the last 25, 30 years in any election in Bihar of actually pulling up. So can Rahul Gandhi actually revive the Congress in a state where he talks of the caste census and in a state where the caste census was actually initiated by Nitish's government when he was in alliance with the Congress and the RJD? The third X factor is Prashant Kishore. Now, when you have a leader who's contesting his first election, it's very difficult to gauge his true popularity. Prashant Kishore is a very good talker. He's very media savvy. He's worked very hard on the ground. But is that enough to translate into votes? Are we seeing a post-Mandal polity where there will be those who are willing to vote for a Prashant Kishore because they want newness in Bihar and move away from traditionally frozen caste alliances? That is the X factor which I think could well decide the nature of the government form. If Prashant Kishore starts getting more than 10%, I think then Bihar's election becomes fiercely contested. And where does he take his votes from is also going to be key depending on the kind of candidates he puts up. So that makes Bihar interesting. There's always one X factor in a Bihar election that we tend to underestimate. Could Prashant Kishore be that X factor in 2025?
Nitish Kumar, he's largely invisible from the political scene. If you look at, he's not holding rallies alone. There are no JDU campaign per se in Bihar. The campaign is of the NDA. On the posters are Prime Minister Modi and Nitish Kumar. They realize that that Nitish has to be very constant in the imagery, but he is not doing rallies of his own.
But Maria, you're from Bihar. And
yes.
the fact is, for somebody who was basically, the cornerstone of elections in Bihar today being reduced by the opposition as a caricature.
No, but
where his
not
health
really
is
a
concerned.
caricature. I would say that Bihar, and look at the timing. Rajdeep, when we talk about the time of this election, it's very interesting. Around Diwali, leading up to Chhath, this is the period when the migrants return to their home state. With that also comes the sentiment of, that longing for your state because you have left the state. The state doesn't have the right opportunities, doesn't have the right infrastructure to support your ambitions. For an aspirational Bihari who's back in the state at this moment, what does that significance of the Asmita angle that Nitish Kumar gave to all of us in 2010? Does it really hold now? No, may not. But then there is a new narrative in terms of the freshness that you're talking about, Rajdeep. And please come in. Nitish Kumar remains that pillar which has been very, very significant to Bihar politics. Right now, he may be fragile, but I would still say that from 2015, when we saw that Phir Bar Nitish Kumar, the posters of Mahagathbandhan, it was about Nitish Kumar returning to power again. This time, again, it will be about Nitish Kumar, but with a stronger BJP. Rajdeep. Spoken like a Bihari here.
Nitish Kumar's numbers, Maria. In 2010, which was if you look at the high noon of Nitish Kumar, that is 2010. 115 seats. I mean, virtually winning 90% of your seats, getting 22.58%. When you come to 2015, he's now in alliance with the RJD. He gets 71 seats and 16.83. By 2020, he's down to 43 seats and 15.39%. And yet, after all the three elections, he holds all the cards as to who becomes chief minister. It is almost like a triangle in Bihar, where if two sides are on one way, and whichever way Nitish is, because the BJP and RJD can't align, they win the election. Now, that's been the tradition of Bihar. The question is, what is the extent of meltdown, if anything, that's taken place of the JDU? As you said, Nitish is hardly visible. His health condition is uncertain. The future of the JDU is unknown. And yet, somewhere down the line, Nitish Kumar has a core vote. You see, this core vote is what keeps him going. It's not as if Nitish Kumar is seen anymore like he was in 2010 as Sushasan Babu. I think those days are gone. But he's almost seen as the glue that holds Bihar together.
Yes.
And I think one of the fascinating aspects of this election will be not just pre-election, but what happens post-election. How long? Let's assume the NDA wins. Can they just hold on to Nitish Kumar for the next 6 months, 1 year? How long can Nitish keep going? Remember, Bihar is the only state in North India where the BJP has never had its own chief minister. So I think Nitish Kumar, to my mind, and you've got a situation where Lalu Prasad no longer can really campaign. Nitish Kumar may campaign, but he's clearly not the same Nitish Kumar. He's only a mascot at best. We are entering possibly the first signs of a post-Mandal polity.
Post-Mandal,
This
yeah,
may not fructify in 2025. It may be seen by 2030. That's why in that interview with Preeti, you've got Prashant Kishore saying, I'm going to stay the course. This is only my first fight.
But
The
Rajdeep,
next 5
you know,
years
one
will be
can
as
sit and
important as what happens now.
romanticize,
Yes.
one can romanticize Nitish, but the fact is his health is suffering. Lalu is out. Would you call this election now the sunset of at least the politicians that emerged from the JP era? It's over from here on. Whatever we are looking at is a new form of politics in years
We
to
don't
come.
know. You see, we don't know. The very fact that over the last 4 weeks they've had all these direct benefit transfer schemes is clearly because the BJP somewhere is worried that we cannot afford to have Nitish Kumar melt down like he did in 2020. I mean, the buzz in Delhi was that Nitish Kumar in 2020, there was a deliberate attempt to cut him to size using Chirag Paswan, getting Chirag Paswan to fight the JDU. That's not happening this time. I think the BJP recognizes, yes, Nitish Kumar is vulnerable, he's no longer as powerful, but we still need him. You see, that is the interesting aspect. The BJP realizes after 2015, we can't fight Bihar alone. We need Nitish Kumar. Nitish Kumar zaruri hai, majburi hai. That is the reality. Whether Nitish is frail, he is still a majburi in Bihar.
Absolutely. But Rajdeep, let's be clear that if we are talking about a meltdown, it could very well be of the BJP in this election. Nitish Kumar's last election, as we are talking about the 2025 last election, could be as very well the send-off or the farewell election. In a culturally rooted society such as Bihar, they may just say that Nitish Kumar, having done so much for the state, giving a Bihari a sense of asmita and pride, they would want to give him a dignified send-off.
In 2020, Nitish actually fight that election saying it was his last election.
He said it.
He did that.
He said it. But interestingly, Preeti, there was that Tejasvi narrative which caught the attention of the youth, where he said Nitish Kumar thake hue hain. Nitish Kumar may be thaka hua 5 years ago. Right now, a missing Nitish Kumar is an advantage for Nitish Kumar because he's very much there in Bihar, Rajdeep.
Look, no, he is. I'm not. See, that's why the BJP has realized that. So they're not playing the same games they played 5 years ago. But the BJP is also a factor. Remember, this is a party which got 10.97% of the vote 20 years ago. Last time it got 20% of the vote. It doubled. Now, one of the challenges and one of the key questions is the BJP going to give half the seats to Nitish as they have in the past? Will it be an equal sharing pact between the two? And if there is an equal sharing pact, is the BJP in a position to win 75-80% of the seats like they did in Maharashtra a year ago? Because only then can the BJP really dominate Bihar's politics.
Or Rajdeep, like they did in 2020, 66% vote share.
Not been able.
Or strike rate, 66% strike rate.
Sure, but has the BJP been fully... Sure, but has the BJP been able to fully mandalize itself as Bihar's politics requires?
Not yet.
Or is the BJP step by step inching towards inching towards the stage where it can claim now that we are fully mandalized?
But also, Rajdeep, the lack of a face. Does the BJP actually have a face which could parallel the ones that there are on the political... Yeah, go ahead, Rajdeep. Make your point.
Look, my sense is the face is not what the BJP is riding on. Who did the BJP have between 2005 and 2020? Sushil Modi was their tallest leader. But BJP was not winning votes on Sushil Modi's name. Narendra Modi, OBC factor, became very popular in Bihar himself. Today, Mr. Modi's popularity is probably higher than that of the BJP. The question is,
but it is not what it was. But Rajdeep,
Yadav has an advantage.
In 2015, despite of Modi's popularity, they lost Bihar. BJP lost Bihar in 2015. They came after 2014 when they were on a high and lost Bihar in 2015.
But there's a different reason there.
Sure.
Yes, go ahead, Rajdeep.
But that was because Nitish and Lalu came together. You see,
came together.
That was in a way the last fight of the two Mandal frenemies. The two Mandal frenemies coming together. Now in 2025, Tejasvi is easily, and all our polls, including Amitabh's polls, show when question is asked, who do you want as chief minister? Tejasvi is well ahead of the rest. It almost parallels the vote of the Mahagathbandhan. The challenge for a Tejasvi Yadav, and it's been a challenge for a while, even for Lalu Prasad, how do I make my 32% core vote, or let's say it's at 25% of your own plus your allies 8-9%? How do I take
All
it
right.
to